And he reached his destination, the birthplace of all nations. He knocked at the door, and he realized it was him who he adored. And he cried out to the Lord, "Awake, O soul, from the dream you weave, for all you've sought you now perceive. The path was never out but in, where love and light have always been. In that moment the veil was torn, revealing he was never forlorn, for he and the Lord were never apart, a single flame, a single heart. The journey's end was the truth untold, that he himself was the light of old, creator and created, one and the same, echoing forever the sacred name." Oh, beloved, I have so many things that I want to tell, so many things I want to reveal, but the one thing is in itself nothing. It is nothing, and this very nothing, this presence, is everything. And I cannot share what you already got. So I cannot sell what you already purchased, but not with coins or anything from the world of Caesar, but you purchase it for in being it, for you are it, the heart, the sacred instrument of a love which is divine. So divine that it accepts all, that it radiates all. So divine that there is no room for even another. For another would imply separation, but in this divine communion there is no separation. Therefore it is endless, limitless, infinite. It is a vastness beyond human conception. For human conception would be a misconception. You would miss it, you would grasp it, and missing it, you would seek it, and we would miss it, because it is always here. It is too close to even call it afar. It is our very own hearts. But we can do it, and then such we can come to it. You can. In the beginning, we come to it by reflecting our minds and come to the heart, to the matter of things. We ask, what is the reality of all that we perceive? What do we know of this world, which seem to be separate from ourselves? Nisargadatta Maharaj is saying to it, in the beginning, or for you it seems that you are born into a world and that you would die in a world. For me, the world appears and dies in me. So what is it? And there's a Dokchen saying, so what is it in you that appears? For the truth is, for the truth is changeless. What is it in you that does not change? For whatever changes is not that truth, that absolute truth. What is it in you that does not change? What is it in you that does not change? Everything that I am now perceiving is changing. The thoughts, the voice, the feelings, the sensations, the perceptions, everything that I know of the world is like a combination of hearing, sensing, perceiving, hearing, touching, feeling. But in essence, all the things is, I am aware of them. I am aware of it. But what is this very presence, this awareness, this consciousness? We can tell that it is not a thing. It is no thing. But even then we miss it. What is it? And even the question, even further, who am I? Yeah? Who am I? What is this I that I call myself? Isn't it itself like a combination of memories, of things? A bundle of perceiving, experiencing, a bundle of, it's basically knowing itself. Rupert Spira is telling us knowing, knowing, only knowing. What does it mean? Knowing, knowing, only knowing means I am aware of being aware. Of being aware. In essence, it's just the same saying that we are already what we are looking for. We can do a hike into every direction. We can walk 1,000 miles. We can ask 1,000 questions. We can seek via our mind. We can look into every direction, but in essence, we will find that we do not know. We have no clue about what it is that we are looking for. That we have been running in circles. But in the end, which ultimately is the beginning. So we can say in the beginning, we realize that we are what we have been looking for all along. We are looking for happiness. We may seek it in the world, but the world will never fulfill the need for happiness. And even this need for happiness is born out of a misconception of feeling and thinking ourselves to be a separate individual, like a separate spark of the divine. We do not realize yet that we are the ocean itself merging, embodying itself as the drop, as this individualized portion of who we think and feel ourselves to be. And from this very notion, we interact with the world in a separate relationship, in a relationship where we essentially are seeking, are longing for love, are longing for the betterment of the circumstances of our life. And we try to get those things or state of mind in experiences, in circumstances, in relationships, in all the various things that we are aware of. But we do not yet realize that what we are truly seeking is that very presence, that very light. Because in this light, as this light unfolding, on the one hand, we have the manifestation, but on the other hand, we have infinity. We have purity. We have the absolute. We have the beloved. We have that which we cannot express because it's beyond expression, it's beyond the world. Therefore, the saying has been stated, I am in this world, but I am not of this world. And then we perceive that all the things that are in this world are basically not of this world, are a cause, and I use a different word now, are a cause of imagination. Imagination as the principle of the Father. Imagining as the principle of the Son, or the created and the created. In essence, all the creator and the created are one and the same. Therefore, Navagoda is saying, or like is quoting all over again, God became man so that man may become God again. But it's not a question of man becoming God again. It's the notion of man, the expressed image, and the expressed image is the one who did it. It is the creator. It's not two different beings, it is one being, which is the perennial philosophy. But this notion is coming into one. So the notion of me being a separate individual and the thing desired, or even God, even this object called God is collapsing until we realize that who we are is dead. Is dead. And this is the journey of the soul from the darkness into the light, from ignorance to wisdom, to understanding, to inner standing, from death to immortality, to the eternal life. And this path is so hard to describe because I know it for myself. I started this path like seeking for answers, seeking questions, longing, understanding. Why am I here? What am I looking for? What shall I do with my life? What is the purpose of life? Is there even a purpose of life? Who is God? Is there God? Who am I? Who am I? Am I my personality, my body, which is changing, my personality, which is also changing? Or is there something deeper? Is there a meaning? Is there something that I cannot perceive yet? Or is there something which is already there? But through my veils of misconception, I cannot see it, I cannot perceive it. I cannot perceive and know that which I truly long for. For I think and feel that I long for all those things. States, persons, relationships, status. And this very longing, and the fulfillment of this longing. And after the fulfillment of this longing, I create more and more of longing thinking, oh no, it's not there, I have to look somewhere else. And through these patterns, through these cycles, I somehow, somewhere, sometimes will realize that no, I'm not looking for any person. I'm not looking for any state of consciousness. I want the source. I don't want any middleman. I don't want any experience through which I gain the Lord, through which I gain this immensity, this intimacy. I want it now. So I seek it directly. I go there directly, and this is the direct path. So I don't achieve it through drugs, through person, through heightened states of awareness or consciousness, through any middleman, but I directly go there and I realize that I have been there all the time. All the time. And this is the I am principle. Who am I? Oh, okay, I realize that all the circumstances of my life are being created and have been created because of the notion that I have of myself. Me thinking, imagining, feeling, creating, energy, Shakti, like this whole thing is creating my life. And I can move it, I can postpone it, I can do nothing, but even nothing is something because it passes through this doorway of this present moment, and whatever is expressed now in some way or form has its own seeds, and it will ripen and it will flow at its appointed hour. So and everything has a purpose, is ordained and, and commanded. And this brings us into the realm of manifestation, into the realm of, oh, okay, I can, by simply changing the concept I have of myself, I can change my whole vast world. And you can do it now, like, feel yourself as the person you want to be. How would you feel like if you already have the things, or if you already are the person that you would like to be, the things you would like to have? And do it now, act now. Now is the only moment. There is no past, there is no future. All on this very principle is imagined. All things, if they are admitted, are made out of the light, are made by the light, are the light. I am the light, the truth. I am that, I am the way, I am the door, I am the good shepherd. So all things passed through the doorway of I am are being made in awareness. The formless and the form are one and the same. The creator and the created are one and the same. Yet, that very principle, the very awareness, though it shapes itself as the thing that it imagines itself to be, because there are not two things in the world, it's all one. It's awareness taking the form as itself, just as in a dream. The mind, the one mind at sleep, or in sleep, dreaming here in Siddhaman and Bali, is creating a dream world, objects, names, form, multiplicity of diversity of names and forms. And then in itself, in order to experience itself, out of an act of grace, and exploration and innocence, it manifests itself as a subject, as a seeming subject. If we dream consciously, then we realize, oh, okay, this is the scenery that I am creating, and then we can control it. And what we are talking about is lucid dreaming, lucid waking, lucid living. Basically, it's the art, it's an art, it's creativeness. In the many traditions, this is called Maya, Layla, the play, Leela, the play, the great play. We are the actors, the directors, the producers. We are writing the script in our mind right here and right now, and all things are happening. Even now, as I'm talking to you, or to whoever's hearing this, it is happening out of itself, out of its own accord. In the moment we step into this very flow, we can channel in a higher frequency which is not ordained or veiled through our past layers of conditioning. Conditioning what? Conditioning this present moment. How when we condition this present moment, it creates a different kind of energy which is being projected into the future, into the next moment or things that we will then experience. Therefore, there is no luck. Or better to say, there is no, how do you say it? There is no, how do you say it? There is no luck. There is no Zufall. There is no, yeah, you know what I mean. There is no, there is no, things arising that are independent of ourselves. And this is the process that we are undergoing, to the process that we will realize that we are condemning or commanding all the things that are now happening or have been happening. And then we step beyond this realm of manifestation. We do not look outwards or at the door which passes through us, but we ask the eternal question, who am I? We are not anymore entangled in our mind, in our conditioning, in our imagining, but we refract, so to say, we transmute this energy into the heart, the spiritual heart, indeed into the I am. And all the memories, all the projections, the so-called past, the so-called future, and the present moment, time and space will vanish. Because time and space are conditionings. Perceived only inside and via the mind. But we are not the mind, we are not the body, we are that very awareness, rendering or making alive, rendering, knowing, making known. We are the light of this world. So we come back and over and over and over and over and over again, and all these layers of conditioning are being washed away. And what remains is that eternity, is that happiness, that truth, which is unharmed, unaffected, but which shines in and as the heart of everyone. And this then is the ultimate freedom. And it's not a thing that I can teach you because you are it. You cannot get it via any instrument, via any circumstance or experience, because you are already it. There is no way to what you already are. Therefore, we are running in circles until you realize who we are. But it's not. Realization is the first step, and then becomes this act of mercy, of grace, of purity, of splendor, of this longing of the heart. Then becomes this. Then life itself is art. It's so pure, so intimate. It's a relationship as with yourself, with the divine, with God, with the truth. And you yourself are a pillar of that very light. Then your life is free from karma, free from conditioning. And if there are, or if there still is conditioning, you can work with it. You can transmute this energy, bringing it to a stop by not giving you attention, by not being pulled inwards into this realm, into the dream, and you are pushed around, but you know that you have been dreaming it all along. Then you take the necessary action. It's not about I am light, I am Shiva. It's, though it is true that you are light, that you are Shiva, it's still about I am light, I am Shiva, you know, and you take action. But action follows. It's not a thing that I'm gonna take action. It's more that action comes naturally from the heart, from the place of love, of purity, of oneness. And this place of oneness, or nothingness, formlessness, is springing forth from you and attracting those seekers who are not yet fully immersed in that light, who will still think and slumber in the dark. That's why we are the pillars, that we are the beings who have been sent. We are the beings who descended, and only those who descend shall ascend again. And this is the cause, or the quest of this human soul divine. Realize that we are not separate beings, that this separation is the belief and a misconception which our minds renders out of belief into our reality. So we have to go beyond the mind to realize that we've never been in the mind. The mind loses its power on the one side, and on the other side, it gains enormous power. Because the mind is the very instrument through which we express ourselves in this world. So this is the story of seeking, longing through the progressive path, through objects, sensations, time, to the direct path, diving into the I amness, seeking the very source of our being. And then we move one step into the pathless path, that we are already dead, what we have been looking for all along. And then becomes, it's not, we cannot separate it, but still, in order to talk about it, we have to, somehow. Or we remain silent, which is also a beautiful practice. But then becomes this expression of we, who we are. We are the divine instrument, individualized, striving forever and ever for greater and greater individualization. We are not bound, we are brothers, we are sisters, we are the divine society. And all of us, is forming, constituting to the one body, to the grand scheme of things, grand picture. And if you do not like what you are experiencing now, know from the bottom of your heart that you can change it because you have manifested and created it. All right. This is the first session. I hope you liked it. I hope I could assist you in your own path towards fulfillment, understanding, happiness and peace, and all the things you truly desire and wish for yourself. Thank you, beloved.